Okay. You want to jump straight into it? Is there any opening? Okay. All right, guys. So nice to have you on Friday Night Hangout. My name is Gaurav Kalia. I'm sponsored by Venkat from London, and personally working with Sanjeev and Shona Sahai. Absolute pleasure to do so. I'm here to talk a little bit about eSpring, and I'm going to spend about 15 minutes talking about eSpring and about the values of it. And I'll start off with a story about Robert Kiyosaki, the writer of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and the business of the 21st century. One day he sat in a publishing room talking about his book, and somebody sat next to him, and she said to him, "Hey, I really like your book, And he was like, "Oh, thank you. Did you read it?" He goes, "Absolutely, I did read it." And then he asked her about her book and her publishing, and she went through all like sophisticated techniques and the knowledge that she had about authoring books, and he realized that he was highly knowledgeable in the product. However, she didn't have the sales that he did. So he pointed out to her, "Hey, I'm not the best book writer in the world, but I try to add as much value to people in the world, and as a result, I make sales." So today I'm going to talk a bit about eSpring, and it's not to empower you with loads and loads and loads of product knowledge so that you guys are experts in product knowledge. It's about adding value to your customer, to your friend, or to your family, or to yourself, and to understand that. And that's where the business grows for you. Okay. And there are a few side effects of learning about eSpring. Every time you make a sale, you get about 350 PV. So if you're ready for that side effect, then get ready for some knowledge. So I'm going to share my screen. And there we go. So drinking water in general. So our body is made up of 70 to 80+% water. So it's an essential part of our body. Drinking water is essential. As when people ask you, what do you do? If you want to talk about eSpring, explain to them, I get people the best quality drinking water. A simple statement. But whenever people ask us what we do, we don't say, I'm a vice president of a bank, or I'm a owner of XYZ. We directly go to where we add value to their life. So explain to people that I get people the best quality drinking water. Okay. How drinking water can improve your health. Number one, water increases the number of calories you burn during regular activity. It's scientifically proven that drinking sufficient water increases the body's efficiency. Okay? Proper hydration improves concentration and reaction time. I recently went to a chiropractor, and they're able to tell straight away, depending on the flexibility of my back muscles, my arm muscles, my shoulder, how much water I'm actually drinking. And they sometimes advise you, all right, you need to step up your water intake. So that's also, a proven biology. Water helps rid the body of excess sodium, which can cause fluid retention. So this is sodium from salt, basically, salty foods. Water helps clear any excess. Frequent water intake prevents hydration. It's also proven biochemically that the more percentage of our body that we're deficient of water, the worse it is for our body. So to prevent dehydration, it's a big deal, having regular water intake. Water may help lose weight and improve complexion. So alongside the Nutrilite that you're taking, making sure that you have water every time you take a pill is also very important to your complexion and your weight. So Nutrilite, artistry, and eSpring go hand in hand. Number 6, helps maintain proper blood volume. So our blood is made up of various different aspects. Fat, enzymes, and water is also a key element of that composition. Okay, what are your drinking water options? Right. So there's a few different things that we can go into. Number 1 is tap water. We all know what tap water is. Turn it, and you get your water. The second option is bottled water. I'm sure everybody's had a bottle of water, when you go to a restaurant or when you go to a hotel, you see it. However, the best option is a purification system. And we're going to lead slowly, gradually into what tap water is and what's in there, bottled water and the effects of it, not just to your body, but to the environment, and purification, about how it provides a viable and affordable solution for your water needs. So first and foremost, tap water, right? There's a few common things about tap water that you need to understand. The government do a fairly good job of getting the water to the front of your house. Unfortunately, as a result, they have to put in chlorine to keep it fresh, right? Now, chlorine, although it might not kill you, it can cause damage to your veins. So that's one key problem with putting chlorine and putting excess chlorine in the water supply. Like I said, they do a fairly good job of getting it to the front of your house. However, underneath and at the front of your house are pipes and joints which aren't kept clean by the government. That's our responsibility to clean. Some of the older homes have lead joints, and that's a significant source of contamination, like a potential contamination right in front of your house, which you can't even see, right? Let alone test and fix. So lead joints is a major problem. If you know somebody who's got old homes which are made before the 1980s or the 1970s, it's definitely worth finding out if they had lead joints, because their water would definitely be contaminated. A lot of problems with the water comes from the actual water supply, the ocean. Local rivers and lakes are a source of water, and over there, a lot of people go on yachts and boats, and as a result of that, they release oils, and those oils, the technical term from it is THMs, trihalometanes. These are it's a mess, right? What I recommend is, if you want to get on eSpring and on trihalometanes, there's a great audio by Charlie Durso. He talks about retailing eSpring, and a lot of the ideas that I've taken from here started off over there. So trihalometanes are fairly dangerous, and they don't easily come out of the water supply system, and it's the cause of one of the many different types of contaminations that are possible. But anyway, back to the drawing board. So tap water has a lot of byproducts that we can't fully control, and I'm going to go into some of those byproducts and from official sources, two official sources. One I'll talk about at the end is, by law, your local government have to provide you all the contaminations in the last 1 year. Okay. Most people cook in tap water and get all the contaminated food. So eSpring is not just about drinking a glass of water. You're also providing food to your family, and those contaminations are making their way into your dinner and your lunch and your breakfast and your snacks. Okay. Okay. Boiling water. Here's a myth, right? A lot of people feel that boiling the water solves all your problems. It solves some of the problems. One of the big pros of it is it's proven that if you heat it up for 20 minutes under boiling condition and let it cool, you can reduce viruses, bacteria, and cysts. However, it does not reduce particulates or inorganic or organic compounds. It will not improve water taste or odor. And actually, some of the contaminations are still there from the beginning, because the boiling point of those contaminations are not 100 degrees Celsius or 200 Fahrenheit, whatever the boiling temperature is. So actually, once it cools down, your concentration is higher because you've got less water, and you still got those contaminants sitting in your tap water. Okay. By the way, can everybody hear me? I'm just making sure. Cool. I like the thumbs up. So yeah, it leaves a higher percentage of contamination. Now, bottled water. Here's a few questions to ask yourself if you are drinking bottled water, or if you know somebody who is. How long ago was it bottled? There's no regulation, right? Of course, we do provide fit water through the Amway platform, and those ones are regulated, just so you're aware. However, for the large part, most water companies don't regulate the plastic or anything to do with their bottled water. And there's no law saying that it has to be given to you within a certain amount of days. It could have been there, yeah. It could have been, sourced into the bottle a long time before you can even imagine it being released. So I like to call this concept bottle mileage. There's a concept called food mileage, but I like the concept bottle mileage. Ask ourselves, how many miles has our water traveled before it was cleaned and before it arrived to us? It gets cleaned, it gets sourced, it gets put in a bottle, and then it goes planes and trucks and lorries and last mile delivery. How long does it sit in a Kroger, Walmart, or an Albertson before you actually pick it up? We don't ask ourselves these questions when we go there and get a $5 deal for 20 bottles of water. And I'm also going to talk about that $5 deal, right? Although it sounds good, eSpring is actually more cost effective. So I'm excited about getting to that point. And that, as a result, yeah, so it goes through the whole supply chain, distributor, wholesaler, retailer, storage, possession, which creates a longevity of that water to go stale. How long do you consume a bottle before it's open? A lot of the times people just leave water sitting around, right? Believe me, that's not fresh. Within a few days, or definitely in a week, it's going to go bad. I know for a fact that some of my friends back in London, when I go in their car, they drink water that's been sitting there for days, and that's hitting the sunlight. So that's not safe either. Subject to less authority controls, we've already talked about that. And it's not environmentally friendly. Okay? Now, we all know there's a problem in the oceans of plastic paper bags, which are impacting the environment. But there's also additional garbage. Majority of the garbage that we see is from plastic bottles, including water bottles. So we're contributing towards a larger problem that we're not completely aware of sometimes. Okay? Here. Now, a lot of people say, you know what? Let me buy a 48 pack, a 32 pack, a 24 pack, and it's going to be super cheap. I'm going to empirically and mathematically explain how eSpring is more cost effective than any of these options. Okay. Now, I've taken three of the most popular brands in the country when it comes to water bowls, okay, and divided it by per gallon. So I took the price of Aquafina, a pack of 32, Dasani, and a pack of 28 of Nestle, which seem to be the most popular options. And I took the three most used supermarkets in the country, which is Kroger, Walmart, and Albertson. Okay. And I did an analysis to see what's the most cost-effective deal I could get per gallon. And the best deal I could find was Nestle at Walmart for 84 cents a gallon. Okay. So if I take that and gross that up, right, that's going to cost me in a year, if I wanted for a family of four to have 4 gallons, right, say a gallon each, that's going to cost from bottled water somewhere between $1,200 to $3,500 a year. Okay, just to give you a rough estimate. So still, we don't cook in a bottle of water either. Whenever we do cook, we don't open a water bottle and put it in. And it doesn't work like that, right? But so that's the maths of and the mathematics of bottled water expense. So why eSpring? I'm going to talk more about purification now. Yeah. Number one, it dramatically improves taste, odor, and water clarity. Right. Those of you who are new here, understand and go out to somebody who's invited you today and taste the water. You'll definitely feel the difference. And in fact, I remember one of my friends, he said, "Oh, I'm fine. I have fridge water because it's cold." If you got fridge water, take a glass, leave it overnight, taste it in the morning. It will taste probably worse than your tap water, right? That's just my opinion. Number two, it's independently verified and certified by the National Sanitation Foundation. So any seal or approval that you need for your water purification is provided there. Right? That's credibility. When it's got the NSF stamp, the Water Quality Association, and the ETL listed, you know it's a good product, right? Backed by over 25 years of research, patented technology, and sold in over 40 countries. 40 countries are using this product. That's another source of credibility. 4 patents just on eSpring. It's a big deal. No other purification system can brag that, right? Simple installation and ease of use. So the system is very intuitive. It will tell you when it's time to change your cartridge. Okay. It removes 140 contaminants and meets the NSF international the standards basically that we talked about earlier. So yeah, all these contaminants are removed, and these are the technical terms of the. Again, you can memorize these, but the idea is to explain the value of the eSpring. We drink and also cook in purified water. So one way of identifying the contaminants in our area is by checking out this website, which I'm going to go to while I'm here. And I would like a volunteer somebody who's new to give me your postcode, not your address, just your postcode in the chat, so we can have a look at your zip code.
I don't think you selected the utility. That's why.
Okay. Yeah. So my area has 14 contaminants, or 41 total contaminants, but 14 that exceed the health guidelines. Okay. So here, 1 second. Here we go. These are all the contaminants that are detected. This is official government information. This is not an opinion-based website or a user-generated content. This is from the people who are doing the testing, and this is an official source. And it tells you how many times the health. Firstly, these shouldn't be in there anyway. Number one, right? And this is telling you by how much the minimal standard of arsenic, how much times it has more. So not only does it have it, it has it 49 times more than what it should, according to the details here. Bromate, you can obviously tell these aren't neutralized supplements here, right? Chromium, this is not iron, folic, and double X. These are contaminations and this is the one I was talking about, the trihalomethanes. This is one of the most dangerous ones. That's very difficult to get out of the water irrigation system, okay? So this is the first data point that you have when you talk about eSpring. If you're saying I help people get rid of all these contaminations, and you have a solution, there's not any other purification system like that, right? Okay, so that's that. And my local area, I had this ready. I can show you some of the contaminations that they have. This goes into more detail, and people can go to their local city to actually get all this information. And I know Manish is a biochemist, and he's recognized some of these contaminations, and he knows how harmful they actually are. So, like I said, the government do a fair job, but the small amount of contaminations that they do have, they won't talk about it because it's dangerous. Okay. So this is the website that you want to go on, and it's www.ewg.org/tapwater.
Gaurav, try one more, 91377, Satish's.
Yeah. Sure. What was it?
91377.
Yeah. Whoa, it's got even more. 16 that exceed. Wow, 490 times the minimal amount of arsenic, which is government regulated. And you can see.
And Satish made Manish move to that area. Can you believe that?
But fortunately, we have eSpring. So
we'll have
now
eSpring
you can
in every.
sell.
Yeah.
We'll
have eSpring in every bathroom also.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
You know what?
I'm
in
asking,
fact,
Manish to bring 2 extra eSpring here. Just water is defected. Otherwise, everything is good. Manish, don't worry.
Yes.
And
it'll increase your sales.
Yeah. Shana, we have the same 16.
You have this. We have the same 16. Oh, we need to really work on it here.
And if it is 0, that means the system, this software is not connected to that particular
pipes.
That county. Okay, so don't that could be the reason. Everywhere water is a problem. There's something there.
Yes, pipes are always old and.
And under each contaminant, it tells you the potential effect. It says cancer, cancer, cancer across all of them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think this is a really good data point to show somebody like who's moving home or somebody who's a real estate agent. And I know Kenneth is in touch with realtors about eSpring and about atmosphere sky as well. To show somebody, look, this is where you're moving, this is the contaminations, and here's your solution. I think we provide a full value add on that straight away. Okay. But so that's that. I wanted to just go over that. Whereas the pricing side of eSpring, I'm really excited about, because that's where, you know, a lot of the objections are, oh, this cost $1,000, it's not quite as much as you think. So firstly, this is a great source when it comes to water quality to show the contaminants. So here's how I can clear it up. So a good way to talk to people about eSpring is ask a very simple question. Are you aware of the water condition in your area? Okay. And if they say yes, say great. Let me set up some time to show you how to clear it up. If they say no, say fantastic. Here's a website, check them out, have a look how many contaminants you have, and then let's set up a time and I can show you how to clear it up. Okay. So here's how it works out from a financial standpoint. In the first year, it works out $2.85 per day. And in the second year, it works out 57 cents per day. And there's two options. There's over the counter and below the counter. But here's what really excited me, right? So we talked about 84 cents was the cheapest deal for bottled water. Here, the eSpring is a 10-year investment. If you empirically look at the data, you're providing 13,200 gallons of clean water, and it's costing you about a quarter of the 84 cents, which was the cheapest deal that you saw in the market. So actually, when you're talking about the pricing, explain to people that it's 22 cents per gallon, right? And you won't get that anywhere else. You know, I know oil is cheap in some parts of the world, but you won't even get 22 cents for oil. So this is a great deal if you think about it, and it's an investment into the clean water in your body, because you have two options. You either clear the water through a purification system, or you clear it through your body, through your organs, which, you know, is not the best thing to do. Okay, so here's a little bit about the pricing, and that's the comparison against bottled water. The installation is very, very simple. This doesn't require drilling loads of things and, you know, getting your head mask on and doing electrical work or anything like that. It's very simple. You just need a plug point, maybe one hole, which is about 32 millimeters, and off you go. It's nothing too complicated. And even if you do need a plumber, it's not going to be a highly complex solution. You're looking at a basic, 30 minutes of a plumber's work. So yeah, and it's very self-intuitive. It'll tell your customer when it's time to get their eSpring replacement. And I'll tell you a story. So like, I've got a lot of customers in London, and every single month, sometimes I'm fighting for some PV at the end of the month, and I always get a call from an eSpring customer saying, "Hey, I need my cartridge." So if you think about it logically, if you're able to do one a month, or if you plan to do 1 month and you'd hit 10 a year, that's 10 filters the next year, right? That's a lot of PV self-generated through people calling you for the order. Okay. These are some of the contaminants that we have looked at. And yeah, just finally, don't let your body filter the water. Get yourself an eSpring. Okay, but that's my part for eSpring.